I'm an asshole and it's okay. I piss people off and it makes my day. And it's John Sees the World, as in sees. Or is it John Sees the World? We haven't made up our mind yet on that one either. But we're working on it. Okay, and tonight our show is brought to you by My Toilet. Options include a squishy seat, soft gel inserts, the Rumbler, massage that mass out, the Joker, how much do you weigh, ranging in sizes from skinny shanks to my ass has an area code. All seats can be heated or cooled, come with an optional bidet. Optional bidet is not recommended on the electronic ones. Buy now and get a bonus case of Spankies! Oh, the sock monkey's favorite, it's Spankies! Woo, Spankies. My Toilet, because it's not yours! Man, you gotta do... These commercials are killing me. I don't know what the hell they're talking about half the time. I sit on a porcelain throne in there, and all I do is shit and pull a lever. What is My Toilet? What the hell is that?
You pay them and they don't send you shit.
Oh Christ!
Call them up and ask why.
Man, you gotta do better than that. That's like saying a Scotsman doesn't have a doodle sack. And no, I'm not going to tell you what doodle sack means. Once again, it's up to you to figure that out. It's up to you to Google that. And see, there goes Richard. Okay, let's see how long it takes him to find doodle sack. Go ahead. Get your phone. Let's see how long it takes Richard to find. Just don't tell him what it is. So this is for your own edification, so you know what the hell I'm talking about at the time. But anyways, while Richard's over there doing that, you know, I'm not going to tell you any stories yet. I'm just going to have some fun here. I'm just going to be John. Okay. Of course, the requisite T-shirt. Things that I do. I drink, and I know things. He figured it out. He knows what I'm talking about now. Yeah. You know, it's just edifying you a little bit, expanding your vocabulary.
I'm trying to put things in my head. There's no room.
Matter of fact, I mentioned, well, Richard
I've
has...
only got 16 kilobytes to deal with up here. It's just...
Richard also has a podcast on YouTube. It's very interesting. You want to tell him about it?
Like, seriously?
Yeah, about your podcast. You want to mention it?
Oh, the live stream?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a live stream. Its schedule is I have no idea.
Well, that makes two of us because neither one of us is consistent as hell.
It's gonna come on usually one time every 7 days or so. Once every 7 days, maybe. Sometimes it's 14.
Well,
as far
I seem
as
to have
time,
found
though,
it on Wednesdays.
anytime between, I don't know.
Yeah, well, the 2 times I've been, well, 3 times I've been there, it's been on Wednesdays. It's been after 7 o'clock, and sometimes it goes for several hours.
Sometimes it's just 3 or 4. Sometimes it's 8. The last one was over 8. I used to regularly go over 10. The longest one was 13 and a half. I remember that. I was working on the Atari 28 or 5200.
The what?
The Atari 5200. The one that nobody had because it didn't sell.
The Atari 5200.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that was prior to my joining the gaming society, so I don't remember that one at all.
It's probably best you don't.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a reason it flopped.
I started with NES, SNES, you know.
Oh, you started with the good shit then.
Yeah, I started with the good legacy stuff, you know, and then moved on to Saturn, I think it was called. Saturn Genesis.
Saturn came out later. Saturn came out after the Genesis. That flopped here too.
Yeah,
it was great over in Japan, but
I had both of those, and I had both of those. And then that's when I started getting into the Xbox and the PlayStation. And honestly, Xbox was a disappointment. I mean, the whole Red Ring thing was just...
Oh, the 360.
Yeah, just that one and the one that came after it, Red Ring too.
I sent mine in 3 times. Fourth time I got it back, and Red Ring. I gave up.
Well, I've been playing.
I don't even feel like going to the post office.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like going.
I mean,
it's just
I've been using PlayStation since PlayStation 1. And I'm on a PlayStation 4 now that's about 10, 12 years old. And I have never had a serious problem with any of them. I've had 1, I've had 2, I've had 3, I've had 4.
It's usually the controllers that start fucking up first.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's a given. Controllers, you're over there. Where, matter of fact, the PlayStation I have now, PlayStation 4. Yeah.
I've never
It's
played
got a new
anything.
controller.
I've never played a PlayStation beyond the PS2.
Huh.
I never had a 3. Or 4. I sure as hell don't have a 5, and why would I? There's no...
I think it was 2.
I have yet to even see one in the wild.
But it was 2 that had the detachable hard drive. I seem to remember it came in 2 flavors. It either came with the hard drive built in, or it came with a hard drive that could be detached and another similar hard drive reattached.
They've probably been doing that since...
No, this is a big thing at that point. At that point in PlayStation 2's life, that was a
PlayStation
big
2,
seller.
It had an option to put one in.
Yeah,
but you had to buy it came with a LAN jack.
Yeah, you had to buy. You had to buy.
Slide a you could slide a.
It was
3
about
1/4 or 3.5 inch.
It was about that long and about that wide.
Yeah, I remember I had one.
Yeah, I had. That's the one I had.
Big version is what I use now. I have the slim now. It doesn't have any place to put it.
Yeah, that's what the 3 came in the slim. I remember that. And that's one where the roof of it would slide over. Anyways, we're getting into something off subject. What is the name of your podcast?
Doesn't really.
How do they find it?
Oh. Well, its name is Vomit Stream, but you ain't gonna find it there's no.
Yeah, but if you look
that's only in the.
Yeah, if you look up Vomit Saw in YouTube, you find it.
Oh well, yeah. If I'm going live.
Yeah, but anyways, like I said, Richard has his own. Jeez,
I didn't know we were going to be talking about it.
Woo, we got over something. We got way outside the bounds of where we were going, but he has his own podcast, and I was on there Wednesday. Was it last week Wednesday?
Yeah.
And
was it?
Yeah, that was it. And I introduced the term doodle sack, but nobody who was there called me on it or asked me, what the hell does doodle sack make? And once again, I'm not going to tell you. That's up to you to figure out. It's all part of your education. Consider this thing as a Department of Education is going to get destroyed anyways. I'm the new Department of Education. I'll be happy to teach you all kinds of shit. And I'll tackle the list, too.
Forgot about that.
Oh, we're back to that now. Oh, shit. I wish I hadn't. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We were having a good time here tonight, yeah? We're going to have a subject now that's near and dear to my heart, and it's kind of fun. It's the different ways to get stoned on pot. Oh, yeah. Richard and I were talking about this earlier tonight before we started this program. But we were talking about the different ways you can get stoned on pot. Now, of course, there's a traditional, take a joint, smoke it, and whatnot. Being down here in Texas, that's illegal. We're not allowed to have that down here in Texas. Ooh, boo, boo. We want our... Anyways, up in Michigan, where I'm from originally, a little place called Saginaw, recreational and medicinal marijuana are legal. And you can grow up to 5 plants at a time for your own personal use. And my cousin, she goes down to the pot store and she picks up her little 2 cigarette packets of pot. And since she's got fibromyalgia and she's in her mid or early 70s, retired and such, once a day she'll go into her she shed and light one up. Woo! Take a trip, smoke the whole thing, enjoy yourself. But anyways, Richard here, he likes to do his with vaping.
Yeah, I like vapor tapes.
Yeah, he does vaping. Nice thing about the vaping is, and I've experienced this, is what he uses for vaping is like 1,000 milligrams. And when you vape that, by the time you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It hits you. It hits you that
you
quick.
do not have to wait.
It's like,
have to wait.
boing. I got a high boner.
I don't know what he's talking about.
You ever heard that? I've got a high boner. A boner high. Boing!
No, I just literally have a high
Never
boner.
mind. We shouldn't have that sort of programming on here.
On YouTube? Oh, no.
Well, we mark it unsafe for kids, so we're covered.
I love getting that. I love when I get to that question on mine, filling out everything. It's like, is this for kids? This ain't for anybody.
Now, in my case, there were two options. I used to buy my pot like I would buy pot back in my college days, get a 4-finger, 5-finger baggie. And Richard said he'd never seen it done like this before. What I would do is I'd take a pinch and, just between my cheek and gum. Not that cheek. But anyways, I'd sit there and chew on it until I had masticated it rather well. And then I'd swallow it.
Where you would masticate and then swallow it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know where that's going. Okay, you're taking advantage of the cripple right now, man. You're taking advantage of the cripple. The cripple is semi-stoned at this point, and you're taking. You saw how I hesitated. They're like, "What the heck? Ah, you son of a bitch!" I'd chew it up, and then I'd swallow it down. And Richard would go, where'd the pot go? I said, well, I chewed it up, and I swallowed it down. I've never seen anybody eat pot like that. Kind of makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Asshole.
Nugget. Like, huh. Now, I've seen people bake it into plenty of things.
Yeah.
Sure. I've never just take the bud.
No, I would just natural nasty. Yum, 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 yum.
No, I took an empty beer can and punched some holes in it, and
well, no. The reason for this though is my doctor didn't want me smoking anything.
oh well then.
Yeah, so I can't smoke it, so I have to get it inside me. So put it in there,
It didn't
chew
say
it
nothing. He didn't say you could.
Yeah, he didn't say I couldn't chew it, so that's what I did. And it would take, maybe about an hour, hour and a half before it would kick in. Then it would kick in, depending on how much I had decided to chew, which would vary because sometimes your eyes got too big for your brain. They say your eyes got too big for your belly. This is your eyes got too big for your brain. And he'd be, woo! He'd be out there somewhere. I mean, but my second choice is I'm doing a specific CBD. And I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this because it's not this is not a commercial shout out or anything. It just happens to be what I use. But I'm using what's called Cheech and Chong's Cruise Chews. I just started doing these last month. Okay, about the early last month I started doing them.
I'm not sure how to make up the. I forget what the amount was on it, but it had like a delta symbol.
Yeah, if anybody could tell me anything about that, this where it says 3 millimeters and a delta symbol behind it, or milliliters or whatever, and a delta symbol behind it.
Oh, it would be milliliters, then it would be liquid.
Yeah. Give us a heads up on it. But anyways, I took 2 of those about an hour before.
Clearly, I paid
up.
attention. I was very good at math and back in school.
What is 1 + 1?
Now, see, I took math for domestic horses. I mean, that's the only one I could pass. So I'm not sure how to answer.
Okay, Your horse has a 1. Any other horse has a 0. Which one is the male horse? Let's see. We got to that point. We Anyways, like I said, my second one is CBDs, Cheech and Chong's Cruise Chews.
Hot in here. Jeez.
Oh, he's complaining about the heat again. But yeah, it's February and it's hot. It is hot. It's like it was 86 degrees today outside at the hottest point. But anyways, they take these Cruise Chews and it says take one, wait 2 hours before you take another one. But John being John. Here, let me do my Queen Elizabeth. Anyways, John being John. I took 2 on the first day. I had to try this out. I had to figure out, I had to see what is this going to do. Got me pleasantly euphoric. And at this point in time, while I'm recording this today, I am pleasantly euphoric. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I've only had about 3 beers, so, guys, I weigh almost 300 pounds. 3 beers is nothing. Believe me.
Yeah.
But this
it's,
CBD, yeah, it's kicking in. So that's different ways that we've been doing pot over the years.
Some people, I went up to Nova Scotia.
Uh-huh.
Back around 2000. No, it was 2001, but before the planes hit. So sometime during the summer. So they would distribute their product in a bottle cap. It would be folded in half. They would hand, well, that's just a squish bottle cap. No, that's how they transport this stuff. And they open it up, and it's just looks like a wad of black chewing gum. I'm not really sure. And they would take a.
You stay away from that stuff. That's known as black tar heroin.
Oh, are you sure? Because it smelled like weed.
Well, it might have been.
What they did,
some
they
sort
would
of
dig it out. They
oil.
would put it on.
What you're talking or describing there almost sounds like black tar heroin. That's something.
Oh no, they would have told me if that was heroin.
Yeah,
There's
you
ain't
stay
no way
away
to touch
from
that
that,
shit,
man.
I won't touch that rotten shit. What is that? I'm gonna find out.
And Richard is off and searching.
No, but it's crazy. They
while.
they would put a ball of it on a burner, like an electric stove burner, and then they would take a piece of paper, roll it into a cone, and then suck up all the fumes.
Oh, now it's starting to sound
So,
like hashish.
That's just how they did it.
Yeah, I've seen hashish that is blonde and that is slightly black. Dark, I suppose. And yeah, it's very malleable and very oily. We used to spread hashish oil on our cigarettes and smoke those. And, now this is back in 75, 76, 77, 78, 80s, 81, in that era. But yeah, you used to be able to buy a bottle of hashish oil and you sit there and it came with a little brush applicator and you brush it on your cigarette and smoke that. And woohoo! Off you go. What?
I was trying to figure out that Delta 9 thing.
So, Richard and I were talking earlier about his wife's hair. Her styling choices, and it led to another place. But, okay, so first tell us about your wife's styling choices with her hair and why she does that and such. And
they are 0. She brushes it. That's about it. I don't even do that. So
yeah, but hey, Richard, the cutting it and such.
Oh, right. So her hair's short right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's shoulder length. Usually right above her ass crack when she cut it, up shoulder length. We had it tied up, and they donate that hair to this service called Locks of Love. They then weave it into a wig for kids that lost all their hair from cancer treatment. So that's what she does with her hair. Now recently, I'm still on the mend. Just recently got out of the hospital. Had to get penis reduction surgery. There was just, it'll hurt your back. It'll hurt your back. It causes serious problems in the back. It's a serious issue. People laugh at it, but I don't know. Well, I had to go in for emergency penis reduction surgery, and I was like, wait. I want to make sure the excess is donated to Cocks of Love. So that it's really unfortunate. Out there,
okay, and so we've had an X-rated portion of the show.
They had to transport it in a 55-gallon barrel. Put that up on you get someone's forklift certified.
So was it a 55-gallon barrel, or was it one of those Lego 55-gallon barrels? You got to be more specific here, Richard.
It's the kind that you find in video games. They explode.
Okay, so it's definitely the Lego size 55-gallon barrel.
See, what they didn't know is
I think they call that a circumcision man.
I guess if you've got like a 20-pound dick, then.
Oh God. Okay, we're done with that. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for that.
But damn balls hang so low, I put them to work. I put them on a little Swiffer thing. I mean, they're dragging behind me. It's like, well, you might as well clean the floor. And it's hardwood, so it's
just
really
tape
easy.
a solar panel to the back of them. Let me go out to the mailbox and charge up the TV. Hi, Sandy. I'm kind of shiny today, so if you don't mind.
It's been a long week. I'm definitely off tonight, so sorry about that.
Oh, God. Okay, so we went off in another weird direction. We haven't even told any stories yet. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some stories. That's basically what it's supposed to be about. But every once in a while, we get off to a tangent and have fun and do our thing and such. So, we didn't talk about Dan yet, did we?
Dan?
Yeah. We talked about it over there, but we didn't talk about it here.
Dan who?
Okay. Sort of a story, sort of you saw that, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's becoming a lot like my,
In 1988, the state of Texas made it illegal to drive around with an open beer can. Prior to that, it had been entirely legal to drive around with an open beer can. As long as you weren't weaving, back and forth between lanes and everything and doing something stupid, you were good. And here I go again. Rocco Cabana, where are you when I need you? Damn it. Anyways, this was in response to MADD. MADD, known as Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. It was a big thing back then. At that point. Yeah. Well, at that point, I became a founding member of DAMM. DAMM. Drunks Against Mad Mothers. We were pissed. We spent, I had spent the past 10 years driving around with a beer between my legs and sipping on it, enjoying the cool, refreshing adult beverage without getting hammered and being able, and making sure I was drinking responsibly. When they finally told me I can't do that anymore. It's like when they told us we had to wear seatbelts all of a sudden. God damn, I love being in a wreck and thinking I'm a rugby player at the same time. That was fun. And then you tell me I gotta wear a seatbelt. Jesus. Anyway, I'm a founding member of DAM. I just wanted to put that out there.
That's not a joke.
No, it's not. It's true. Back in 1981, I'd say early 81 to about mid 81, I lived in El Paso, Texas. It was quite an interesting and fun experience. Of course, there were, some hard times and such, I mean, if you look at the right side of my head here, which I'm showing you right now, you'll see the scars from that.
Oh, wait, all right.
Yeah. No, it's the right side, not the left.
Oh.
Yeah. I rolled a 1,500-pound dune buggy over my head in an area known as White Gates, which no longer exists, of course. It's all residential and whatnot now. But I used to work at a JoJo's restaurant, and I used to work the midnight shift, the midnight to 6 a.m. shift, which has always been my favorite shift. Graveyard shift is just a special kind of people, different kind of people, strange kind of people. Well, one night, we only had myself as a cook, my buddy Jimmy, who was the assistant manager, and a girl named Carla, who was a waitress. And then there was a busboy. I can't remember his name. He was a good guy, real good guy. It wasn't a Mick. It was a Mexican fella from across the border in Juarez who was working there. And on this particular night, Jimmy and I go out back behind the restaurant, have a cigarette.
Sorry, I don't mean to be all asocial over here looking at I was trying to figure out math.
To figure out what?
I'm terrible at math. So it takes me extra long.
What are we stuck on in math?
Huh? Oh, no, I was looking up that something whatever it was, Delta 9.
Oh, you're looking up that thing.
That's a whole different thing apparently.
Oh yeah, bring me another one too, man. Yeah, you see, we're having you're getting to see behind the scenes of John sees the world, or does John see the world? Yeah, this is behind the scenes stuff. Anyways, so Jimmy and I are back behind the restaurant. We're having a cigarette. Just relaxing and whatnot. It's been a long night, and the bar rush was pretty brutal, but we got through it, and we got the breakfast rush, which is going to start in about an hour. So it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We go back into the restaurant. We head out, he heads out to the floor, check on things. I head back to the cook station.
Yellow or green? I don't know how you...
Yeah.
There you go.
He heads back to he heads to the floor. I head back to the cook station. Excuse me, I'm over here chewing a cruise chew. Ooh.
You still good, right? I need to take you toilet shopping next week. Forgot to bring your present. It won't do you any good right now.
We'll talk about that in a bit, I guess.
That's like him here.
So,
Man up there right now.
I no sooner get back behind the station, the cook station, and Jimmy runs up in a panic. He goes, oh man, this is not good. I said, what's going on? Well, we were in the back having a cigarette, and a busboy was back there washing dishes. Some guy came in here with a gun and robbed the waitress. Oh, Jesus, man. It happens that quick, You never know. You never know what's going to happen there. I mean, poor girl was just, wow. Messed her up. Took her most of her night's wages because it's already 4 o'clock in the morning and we only got 2 hours left on the shift. I mean, these jackasses know when to strike, obviously. And Jimmy and I, we each gave her like $10 a piece, which is about all we could afford because we weren't rich either, so at least you went home with something. But yeah, that was us working in fast food in a place called JoJo's Restaurant. on, see, that was Gateway East in El Paso, Texas. Another night, here it was getting near midnight. I was working the 6 p.m. to midnight shift at that point. No, it was 4 p.m. to midnight shift at that point. And I had just got my entire station clean. You know, deep fat fryers have been filtered out. The grill's been cleaned. Everything else has been wiped down. Looks pretty and spanking and new. And all the stuff that we use has been restocked. So for the next guy that comes in, next cook comes in, everything's going to look good. 5 minutes to go till midnight. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, 5 minutes to go till midnight. And I can go home, have a few beers, do whatever, okay? All of a sudden, a bus pulls in. A bus of Mexican tourists. Few of which spoke English. So that makes things a little difficult, right? Of course, I'm pissed off because I'm thinking, Jesus, my station's about to get ruined and it's going on midnight. And now I'm going to have to stay in here and help with this. All these people, because there are like 30 of them, 40 of them, have to help, feed all these people. This sucks.
Give them all a burger.
Huh?
Give them all a burger. That's what you ordered. That's what you ordered.
No, they come trooping into the restaurant. They come trooping into the restaurant, and the girls go out there, and of course, none of the girls at that time, they wasn't encouraged, I guess, but none of them spoke Spanish, so, it was kind of, two cultures meeting there and trying to do their things. And finally, it turned into a pointing contest where, which one do you want? And they'd have them pointing at stuff, I want that, or I want that, or I want that, or whatever, okay? They were ordering based on the picture.
Well, that's how I have to end up doing it anytime I go to a Japanese restaurant.
If you've ever been a cook in a restaurant like that, then you understand that timing is everything. Say you got an order coming, okay? That one guy wants a steak well done. 2 of them want hamburgers, and 1 of them wants a Monte Cristo sandwich. So aside from what those are, you've got the sides that go with them. That are either already prepared or you gotta prepare. And then of course, a Monte Cristo might take a little longer to cook than a steak medium rare, or whatever the case may be. So the cook's back there, and he's having to decide what to start first, which order he's going to cook this stuff in. So when he sends it out to the waitress, it all goes out at the same time, and it's all hot. That's a lot of responsibility with food sometimes. Well, here we are going. We're about half an hour into it, 45 minutes. Orders are flying out. And I don't know what happened, but one girl took a hamburger instead of a hot dog. Hers was the only guest that had ordered a hot dog, I suppose. And there were several hamburgers up there as well at the time. And for some reason, she took that guest a hamburger instead of the hot dog they ordered. Now then, mind you, this only took maybe a matter of a minute and a half to realize the mistake, correct the mistake, and come back for the hot dog and put the hamburger back up under the lights. But by this point, I've already had 2 other hamburgers and went with that hamburger go out. And of course, somebody's upset because they didn't get their damn hamburger. Where's my hamburger? I don't know. He ate it. Somebody ate it. The cook ate it. He was hungry. I don't know where your damn hamburger. Oh, that reminds me. We got to do this afterwards. Anyways, so she takes a hamburger instead of a hot dog. And threw my entire rhythm off. Now, unless you've been a line cook yourself, you're probably going, well, what's the big deal? It was a minute and a half. Just deal. No. No. If you've been a line cook, you understand timing is everything. This poor girl, I felt sorry for her because I came unglued on her, so to speak, and chewed her a new asshole for what she had done. And can't you tell the difference between a hamburger and a hot dog? What the fuck? Threw my entire game off for the rest of the shift. Or the rest of the time I was there for that shift, working overtime to begin with. And not happy about that. But how the hell do you tell? Do you mistake a hamburger for a hot dog? Once again, JoJo's. This time San Antonio, Texas. And me and my brother and my brother-in-law were working at the same JoJo's. My brother and I working the same shift, and my brother-in-law working the shift that came, before us. Oh, I hate when that happens. You're not saying much tonight, man.
I know. I told you that I felt a little off tonight. I don't know why.
Are you cruise chewing yet? Do you think you're? Oh, yeah. Ignore that.
I wonder if Mike picked that up. Well, anybody could run that through something like Audacity.
I'm sure the mic picked it up. It sounded loud enough to me. Yeah.
We would rate it 1 to 10, whatever I stream inside. So, I know y'all heard that one. That was basic. Personally, I'd rate it a 1 to, or a I don't know, maybe 6.5.
I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one who has that trouble on his podcast. No, I don't edit anything. I just
I'll burp and fart and
record it and
go piss.
You get it.
What I didn't realize first time I went up to go piss. That damn mic. I forgot the sound carries apparently, but damn mic picked it up. Picked it up loud and clear. It was on Omni or not Omni, cardioid mode. So you're ideally supposed to be right in front of it.
Where on here does it tell me how long this is so far?
Well, it's down there at the bottom. We're going 37 minutes.
Ah, good.
Talking about nothing for 37 minutes.
Hey, Seinfeld made a career out of it, okay? So.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So for some reason, I don't have his money, though.
So anyways, before we get to my next story, yeah, I've been saving this for a few weeks, man. I went to HEB, and they had those rotisserie chickens there. And they had them for $5 a piece, which is, that's a pretty damn good price for rotisserie chicken at HEB. It's excellent price, really.
Yeah, those. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I bought.
That's special. That's bachelor food right there. So you know what? I'm gonna treat myself today. You get a big ass rotisserie chicken.
You didn't eat the whole chicken, man. Jesus, I ain't that young anymore.
Hell, I do.
No, I'm not that young. Anyways, I bought 2 of them. One of them I started chewing on that night, and the other one I stuck in the freezer. And when I got done with the first one, lo and behold, I got a wishbone. First thing I thought it was, here we go, bud. We're going to do a wishbone, and 1, 2, 3.
All right. Damn.
Oh, neither one of us won the top pot.
How do you?
We're both sorry shits.
I'm too unlucky, man. There's something going on today.
Jesus
You know what? You got a bit more bulk on yours, though. We'll say you won.
No. We didn't get the top. I saw the top go off in that direction.
It bounced around over there.
I saw it go off in that direction. Damn.
What the fuck? Of course. Well, the wishbone the goddamn top pops off. That's funny. That's my kind of luck.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to save those 2 stories for later. But the last one, I got to tell the last one. Richard and I used to work for a printing company. Started out as BABN, morphed into OGT. And what we did is we printed lottery tickets. For all intents and purposes, we were printing cash. Now, this meant we had to go through various levels of security clearance and whatnot in order to be able to perform this function. And that's how we met. We met at OGT.
I was 18.
Richard was 18, and I was a
You had
38, I think.
you had to be 18 to work there. I remember that.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I just
And you
got
also
out of high school, so.
you also had to not be colorblind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have to deal with any of that.
Well, no, I've known colorblind
Okay.
printers, so I don't understand their problem with them. But it just depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Because I've known guys that were colorblind who learned with the tools that we were provided how to adjust
How
for
to
that.
tell tones and all
Yeah,
that shit. Yeah.
and it worked out well for them. Anyways, I went up to what we call HEB grocery store here in Texas.
And I love it. Anybody outside of Texas, or especially, outside of this city, or especially outside of Texas, what the hell's a heb? I'm seeing them everywhere. What's a heb?
It's not Heb, it's Hebe.
It's Howard.
Jewish. Hebe.
It's like,
Never mind.
well, the B stands for butt. It's the dude that owns it. That's butt. It's like, I work at Howard E. Butt store.
Yes, sir.
Is that where you go to buy your corn? Yeah, I'm gonna go get some butt corn. But I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, we get regular corn or we get recycled corn. Depends on how much money we got that week.
Recycled corn. And you go to pick it out?
Yeah.
No, see, I remember my sister calling that the second harvest.
The second harvest.
Yeah, it was when you go to pick the kernels out of a turd.
I guess y'all didn't have screens back then, right?
Huh?
You didn't have screens. 'Cause that's how we did it. We just plop, run the water over it, and we could wait until it all washed away, and we had a nice clean kernel.
They're still good. Gather them up, throw them in a.
Feed them to the chickens, and then the chickens you feed yourself.
Seriously, Jen and I were actually talking about chickens the other day. I was like, how many chickens are you allowed to have within city limits? So like 3 or?
I don't know. I know there was somebody owned a chicken across the street here.
Oh,
Yeah,
same
I mean,
at our house.
it would get out of the yard once in a while and cross the street to over here on this side of the street.
I would expect something like that.
And, it
the
was
house down
friendly.
in Marbach when I used to live on
Yeah.
Marbach. Somebody had chickens and a rooster. That bastard every morning.
Well,
And
think
then,
about Marbach.
where I live now. Somebody's got at least a rooster.
What is the name of that apartment complex there? It's named after the street. I think it starts with a D. It's right up the road from Marbach.
Oh,
I can't. Anyways, Marbach, back in my day, Marbach only went maybe 3/4 of a mile and stopped. There used to be a farm there. And what we used to do is we drive down 410, turn off on Marbach and take a right instead of going back into town. Follow it up to about halfway to the farmhouse, park there, and sit and get stoned.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, to look at it today, you wouldn't know.
I've looked through some historic aerial photography, and it's pretty interesting. Stuff back then was mostly black and white, but it's there, and I can swear there was a part of Marbach that used to connect and go across that giant ditch over by where there used to be a power plant.
No.
Now it's just a giant concrete slab.
Yeah.
There used to be a road that went across that.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No,
You
you
can
back.
go back into the historic aerial
Yeah,
photograph.
yeah, but the thing is
You can
that
see where it turns off. It starts to turn off, and then it just turns.
yeah,
into
but you
grass.
didn't have access to it because it was a private property back there. That was a farm.
No, it might have been on a. It was a ditch. What are you doing?
No, it's not a road if it's a ditch.
Well, you build it up into a road.
No, it's a ditch. A ditch is different from a ditch.
Or maybe we drove down in it, and
Nice.
I don't remember. But I definitely remember. Going that way.
Well, my 65
They filled it
Malibu
in.
wouldn't have been able to make that
And they
ride.
cut off. They intentionally separated those two different neighborhoods. When you get back on, it turns back into Marbach. No, wait, no. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about.
There was
Marbach.
nothing-
I'm thinking about Hunt. I'm thinking about Hunt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I told you it was all a farm back then, man. There was nothing
Hunt
between.
Or what's it, Hunt? I don't even know.
The only thing between was that 410 and 1604 was that farm. There wasn't any roads back there at all. It was all fields and cows and cow shit.
But
anyway,
knowing what it looks like now, God, if I could, hell, I would have bought land as a 20-year-old over there. Shit, what it turned into now?
You wouldn't have been able to afford it as a 20-year-old. Believe me, the wages
I'd save up and just like live
good.
with my parents for a while or something. I save up as much money as you can, buy some land there, because that's just gonna end up turning into fucking.
Nope.
And it's only a matter of time before they
what they
stick a
paid you
high-rise
back
there.
in those days. Well, back in my days, back in the mid '70s, they didn't pay a shit.
No, even up in, you know, like the highest. I didn't know. Well, I wasn't on Sourly. They still don't pay shit. Well, they might pay better than shit now, but when I was working at BADM or OGT, $8.50 an hour was the most I ever made there. I was there for 5 fucking years.
$5 an hour. Well, less than $5 an hour is what we used to make in the well, no, we made less than $4 an hour in the late '70s. Okay, used to think about $5 an hour and $800 a month. Wow, that's a lot of money. But then again, an apartment only cost $200 a month back in those days.
I mean, hell, if you watch the old commercials, they're all a bunch of them are archived on YouTube. You can go back there and watch that shit in the '70s, and you'll see what they're asking for a car. Mm-hmm. And really?
Oh, I already know what they were asking for.
I got that in my checking account right now.
I had an opportunity to buy a 1969 Camaro 2-door Super Sport that was jet black with 3 coats of lacquer on it. Had these really cool rims where the wheel was it would do sort of like a swirl pattern to the outside, and all the guy wanted was $1,100. But there was no way in hell I could raise $1,100 at that time. It just wasn't good. And I was living at home and going to college.
These days, I would just charge it right then and there on a credit card, pay it off the next month.
Didn't have a credit card. They wouldn't give me one. I was too young. I was too young.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I had a 1966 panel truck that they used to drag race out at the San Antonio Speed. Could you get me another one?
I was still living in my daddy's balls back then.
We don't need to hear about your daddy's balls, okay? No need for that. Damn, man. This show is gonna get hammered. They're gonna throw us off the channel. We're gonna be in deep shit. Oh well. Thanks, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I could have afforded it, man. My panel truck, when I bought that with the money they gave me off the Pell Grant to go to school. My dad was paying for my college, you know. Back then it was affordable, and the Pell Grant, well, you got that once a semester, and we used to use that to buy another car because the last one broke down and couldn't fix it anymore. Jesus. But anyways, Richard and I worked at the same printing plant.
Scratch off lotto tickets.
And I went to the HEB before work that day. And I picked up a pound of shrimp that had to be cooked before you ate it, of course. Deveined and shrimped and cooked. So I brought it home, deveined it, washed it, cooked it, put it on some rice, little butter on that rice, and had me a good meal. Well, about 3 hours into the shift, I told my lead pressman, yeah, man, you know, everything's running good right now. It looks fine. I'm going to go outside and stand in front of the building and have a cigarette. He's like, okay, go ahead. Got plenty of time. So I went outside. I stood in front of the building, lit my cigarette, started smoking it. And I'm just standing there enjoying my cigarette, leaned back against the building, when all of a sudden, boom, I shit my pants. I didn't make an attempt to shit my pants. I didn't feel that pressure you feel when you gotta go? That was not prevalent. There was no rapid farting before I shit my pants. It was like I was just standing there and all of a sudden, bloop, it dropped out without me feeling it. I was like, what the And I'm looking down thinking to myself, I just shit my pants. This sucks.
Is it rolling down your pant leg?
No, it stayed in one big mass right there, man.
You're not trying to kick it down.
No, it just stayed in one big mass right there, dude. So then I had to put out my cigarette, go back into the plant, go over to my pressman and explain to him, yeah, dude, I just shit my pants. I'm going home. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm going home.
I want to use that. Now that we're all work from home, I want to use that as an excuse to get off shift.
Yeah.
I shit my pants. I got to go home. You're already at home.
So he says, are you sure?
But I'm home and I'm sad.
You remember Angel Ruiz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
He was my pressman at the time. Yeah. And he looked at me, he said, are you sure you got to go? I said, Angel, I just shit my goddamn pants. I'm going home. You're on your fucking own, dude. Well, of course, I went home. I grabbed some paper to put on the seat of the truck, so I wouldn't stain that. And I managed to get home, and I cleaned myself up and stood there wondering, what the hell was that all about? I'm telling you, I never felt it coming. Just blew. Oh. That's interesting. That's just like an instant drop of a turd, man. What the hell?
You're like Frank Reynolds. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He just craps whenever. He's like, I did another one while you were
the infamous Who Shit the Bed episode. I love that.
You're always sleeping without underwear. You got that long t-shirt. It could be anybody who shit the bed.
He finally admits to it, though.
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, it was me. Yeah, I just did another one there while you were finishing up talking.
Yep. So I get back to work.
God, I love Danny DeVito.
I get back to work the next night, and of course the big story is Big Bad John. He shit his pants. Well, took me a few shifts to get this understood. But the first guy came up to me and like, John, I hear you shit your pants last night. I looked at him, and I looked him dead in the eye. And very calmly I replied, No, I didn't shit my pants last night. But I had heard you had to leave work. I said, yeah, that's true. I had to leave work, but I didn't shit my pants last night. Last night I was wearing a pair of Earl's pants. And that was another printer. He happened to have the same waist size as me. And none of my pants was on the rack, so I grabbed a pair of his and put them on. I said, yeah, I was wearing Earl's pants. So get your goddamn story straight. I didn't shit my pants last night. I shit Earl's pants. So needless to say, Earl comes in on the day shift, okay? Earl comes in on the day shift.
It's just, I love that.
And someone told him, John shit your pants. He goes, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, man, he had on a pair of your pants the other day. Remember when he had to go home? Earl says, yeah, I remember this is yesterday. He says, yeah, it's because he shit your pants. He goes, what are you talking? He was wearing a pair of your pants when he shit them. So he walked up to me and he says, John, did you shit my pants? I said, yeah, Earl, I'm sorry, man. I had to borrow a pair because I didn't have a pair clean that was on the rack, so I bought a pair of yours. And yeah, I shit your pants. Well, what'd you do with them? Well, what do you think I did with them? I took them off and threw them in a goddamn hamper before I put my own pants on. Well, needless to say, Earl ordered a new wholesale platforms. Because John shit his pants. Okay,
Oh,
well,
that's funny.
oh my God, we're having this is getting on to an hour now. We're gonna have to shut this down. I've got a couple of the stories here I haven't told you yet that I will.
I can't remember, honestly, the first probably 15 minutes of what we were talking about.
We were just.
I haven't been
rambling.
awake that long. So I went and took a nap and turned into a, you know how that happens.
But anyways, we'll
Like
be
after
back
that.
with Richard, you got anything to add before we close this? Okay. The vote is in. It's nay. It doesn't like that at all. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. I keep telling you, I'll see you next week, but we never know when we're going to show up, so we just show up when we show up. Well, there when we're there, brother. And you all have a good night.
Take care.